through with you last time, very briefly, of course, through these major secret operations of consciousness, which are for us quite important because they will determine the coming of the faculties of consciousness later in the mental and vital world. Yeah, I can, but later. I'm just kind of reminding you what we did, and I will go to the bigger picture when we will start actual meditation. So we went through some jnana, prajnana, and I said that these are two apprehensive faculties, apprehensive secret operations, as Auroville calls them, which are in a way determining what mind and sight or seeing will be as faculties of consciousness. I want to tell you that these four major operations of two apprehensive movements of inbringing of the image of things and outgoing to the image of things simultaneously and comprehending this image of thing with all the other things around and all other images and all other activities of this thing which could take place in time or space. This is the comprehensive vijnana, and outgoing to it in order to possess it in power, that is the ajnana. All of them are happening simultaneously. I'm kind of trying to be very brief on this very vast topic. They are all happening simultaneously, and I was giving you the example. I take my glasses, put on the table, and all four of them are simultaneously acting. So I have to distinguish it, to have a contact with these glasses in myself. I have to distinguish it as such, different from myself. These are two apprehensive movements. I have to hold it within myself, to have identity with myself, and at the same time I have to see it as separate from myself. I have to comprehend this movement with my face, with table, with all the whole universe around me, that I can put it on the table. Table is also here for me, so I know that I can do it, though it wasn't there before. So this is vijnana, and I'm doing it, it is ajnana. So one simple movement of the hand, and four of them are present all the time. Otherwise it would not be possible. No action would be possible. But what is interesting, that these faculties somehow, when one of them is dominating, creating what we know as our faculties of hearing, seeing, thinking, and speaking. So this identity with myself, this knowledge by identity, is the major faculty of the mind. So samjnana, as the essential sense, creates the possibility of mental concentration and holding the image of things within my reach, with identifying with myself, appropriating it, and making part of myself in order to know it, to feel it within myself. When it is dominating, we have the mind faculty. When I am looking at it, at my glasses as some objective thing, which is not connected with me, I am seeing it. That's why in that presentation, the Atman wanted to see himself. The divine wanted to see himself objectively. He didn't see himself yet in terms of glasses, computer, other beings. He didn't have that opportunity to have an objective viewing of himself. So this is the prajnana. When prajnana dominates, then the seeing faculty is becoming prominent. But all of them, in seeing in the mind, also are present. All of them simultaneously are present. But one of them is as if dominating the others, becomes more prominent. As you remember, vijnana and ajnana, they are also if ajnana is dominating, then this kind of action, expression of the self, comprehensive expression of myself, in order to dwell on the image of things, to empower and to govern it in power, this would be a self-expression. The word faculty, logos, command of my consciousness over this world, over the image of things. And vijnana will be this comprehensive, all-knowing consciousness which knows all things in their properties and details and essence in all possible variations in time and space. Not only today, not only now, but also how it will behave tomorrow, this thing, or anything. There is a knowledge which is going beyond the immediate time and immediate space. And this is hearing. And from here we have music. Music is that which is of pure comprehension, which gives us a sense of joy and sadness and happiness and wonder and delight. These are pure expressions of that comprehension without apprehensive form, through the sound, through the vibration. All-pervasive spirit, connecting all things into one meaningful, coherent space. That's why the whole universe hangs together meaningfully. All the galaxies, all the people, we are sitting on these chairs here in this room, and this room is on this earth which is rotating around itself and around the sun, and sun is flying in this huge space with enormous speed. Everything is speeded up and flies somewhere, and we are steady here sitting, and we are knowing how to do it. This is the vijnana. All things are related meaningfully, and all of them are one being. And we don't see it. Our separated consciousness does not permit us to see it, but when we grow to the supermind, we see it. And then there is a new experience. I'm saying all this because these are the secret operations of consciousness which are transmitted in our faculties, which create our faculties. That's why we can see, hear, speak, think. They are hidden behind. They are acting in every one of them. Now, I said that this higher consciousness can be studied in two different modalities. One is about these faculties, and other is about verities of psychic being. That very thing which plunged into the darkness, and the sparks of this fire, we are, our souls, developing here. And that being in us, which is evolving in us, has qualities. And these qualities of the psychic being, which are emerging from its own depth, so to say, from the Supreme, are the eternal verities, or eternal dharmas, as Sri Aurobindo calls them. Eternal dharmas. The powers which are constantly transforming our mind, life and body into a perceptive and suitable instrument of the Spirit. These qualities differ from the faculties and are essential for the transformation of the lower being into its higher prototype. They must build up a new consciousness within an individual and channel all power and knowledge of the transcendental Satchitamanda into the material frame of consciousness. The perception of faculties Adhidaiva, oriented either within towards its universal prototype Sadhyatma, or without to the surface of consciousness Adhibhuta, are insufficient to realize integral consciousness. The faculties have to channel the light of the higher realms to the lower, and be simultaneously present on all these levels. There is a beautiful text in the Taittiriya Upanishad. Etam annamayam atmanam upasankramya, etam pranamayam atmanam upasankramya, etam manomayam atmanam upasankramya, etam vijnanamayam atmanam upasankramya, etam anandamayam atmanam upasankramya. The Rishi, at the end of his journey, unites all the levels of his own consciousness, from the physical to the transcendental. And all of them simultaneously are present in his consciousness. It's unbelievable when you read it. How can one have such consciousness? So this kind of integral consciousness is totally new even for the divine. This is me. You can hear immediately that I speak this way, just to distinguish it. Totally new even for the divine. For this was the reason why this creation was set into motion. The Supreme wanted to experience himself and you. This new, fresh experience of oneself is very dear to the Supreme. It wants it. It looks for it. It's not the same thing which was there from before and always. So, these eternal dharmas are 12 qualities of the Divine Mother, clearly corresponding to the 4 powers of the Divine Shakti. Here they are: sincerity, humility, gratitude, perseverance, aspiration, receptivity, progress, courage. These 8 qualities, which Mother says, they are towards the divine. We have to have sincerity towards the divine, humility towards the divine, gratitude, perseverance, aspiration, receptivity, progress, and courage. And there is a sequence of them, of course, and she says that sincerity must be first realized. Without sincerity, nothing is possible. Nothing. We don't need to even to start this yoga if sincerity is not there. Truthfulness. Sincerity is recognizing that the divine is. We are sincere because we know that the divine is. And that knowledge makes us humble. We immediately have this sense of humility because we know that it is His creation. And we are here to fulfill His purpose, not our own. And that creates gratitude, that kind of bhakti, love towards the divine, unconditional love. Because the divine is, I love Him. Not because He did something good to me or bad to my enemies, I love Him. He destroyed my enemies, I love you. Not this way, but because He is. And if we hold on to it, perseverance, to this sincerity, humility, and gratitude, the divine is kindling in our hearts the aspiration to find Him in everything and everywhere. And this aspiration in our hearts, this flame kindled by the divine, creates receptivity. We see the divine everywhere. We are receptive to His presence in this world, which shows us the path where we have to move, the progress where we have to grow, become more and more Him in this world. And then we need only courage to do it. Because we may have everything, but not courage, and we will sit on the path, or maybe dance on the path, but not walk the path. And there are 4 qualities.
Vladimir, can you only make it bigger now? Now is the timing to become bigger, right?
Thank you. I forgot about that. Thank you. And there are 4 qualities which we must have in our soul towards humanity, and these are goodness. We may have all the qualities towards the divine, but towards humanity we will not have goodwill. And goodwill is a very essential quality. So the goodwill is allowing us to hear in others' words, in the words of the other, the element of the truth, the divine element, which we want to enlarge. That goodwill. We are not criticizing others for their shortcomings. We are finding in them the truth and focus on it. This is the goodness, which is quite lacking in this world, critical mind. Generosity. We may not have generosity. We are not generous enough to share our knowledge, to share our resources. We think that if they go, we would not have them again or something. We think that it is ours. Though nothing is here ours. Even our bodies do not belong to us. Equality. We may have a sense of inequality. These are elite, these are, other people. These are white, these are black. These are clever, these are stupid. These are developed, these are undeveloped. If we have this attitude, we will not be able to manifest soul's power. We need equality. There are no bad or good people. There are forces.
Related to judgment also.
Yes.
But here equality has different meaning. Equality means no reaction to the external state.
Right.
Remain passive and peaceful.
Right.
Equanimity, yeah.
Maybe could you maybe distinguish those terms in other between equality and equanimity?
Well, I would not split the hair now, equality and equanimity. But one can do it also. Please, would you like to do it? Yeah, I'll give you a second. Just about time. Kind of limited time. Yeah, please. Yes, thank you. Okay, go ahead.
The samatha is defined by Sri Auroville as a kind of inability to react to anything because all is the divine. And so this is perfect equality. Equanimity is a kind of human balance that helps you to not overreact to things. So I would say that one is an absolute and the other is a relative function of that which is absolute.
Yes. One is more psychological, other is more fundamentally philosophical, which is also, if we follow it, it becomes a part of our understanding. We understand that everything is the divine. All the beings here are not from other source than the divine. All of them, and everything. And that fundamentally creates in us this right attitude to hear them, to understand what they represent. And the last one is peace. We have to have this fundamental peace. We have to peacefully relate to the world and to others.
Just a very short one, but this is not towards humanity only, no? It's towards every being of the world,
Yes, everything towards the world, yes. Because humanity, first of all, because we are humans, and that's where we create, I agree that there is nature, animals, trees, and so on and so forth. I agree.
Same thing is applied to what karma yoga.
Karma yoga, yes, it's another, very beautiful concept. I think so. In karma yoga, all these qualities have to be there. Yes? Otherwise, how would you manifest the divine through action in yourself if you would not have these qualities? Right. So here is the sign, the whole thing. You see the colors, they are not very clearly here, but here they are with colors and locations. We have sincerity, humility belonging to Maheshwari power. We have perseverance as aspiration to Mahalakshmi. We have courage and progress to Mahakali, and generosity and equality to Mahasaraswati. And these four fundamental powers of the mother, about which Sri Aurobindo speaks in the mother, those of you who read this prominent and wonderful book, they are the major qualities of our inner self, of the Supremes, of Sat, Chit, Ananda and Vijnana. Sat, Maheshwari, Chit, Shakti, Mahakali, Ananda, Mahalakshmi, and Vijnana, Mahasaraswati. The transcendental being in its powers. And these powers are also these four varnas of Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras in their highest sense, in their divine sense. Maheshwari is the power of Brahmins or the man of knowledge. Mahakali is the power of the man of power. Mahalakshmi is the power of man of delight, Vaishya. And Mahasaraswati is the power of Shudras, the man of service, the divine Shudra. And integration of all of these powers within ourselves, becoming Chaturvarnya in this world, is another great synthesis. This is the real integral paradigm. When we speak about faculties, we mean to make them more and more psychic, to see how they interact, what the world they create. But the real integration is here. How to become simultaneously a man of knowledge, a man of power, a man of life, and a man of service. And it is very difficult. We are either a man of knowledge, and then we don't do anything with the man of service or trading. We don't look at money. We don't want to know it. I am only there. Sorry to tell you. I never did anything in my life with my hands. Or I am only doing with my hands and nothing else is present. And this is very important for India. For India in the first place, not so much for the West. In the West, people are doing all kinds of things. But for India, in India, there is this mentality of Varnik division. We have to overcome this and to become Chaturvarnya. About this, Sri Aurobindo speaks in the human cycle. This is a great thing. So that's basically the whole presentation. I took my half an hour, and now next time I will be talking about integration of these qualities into the domains and approaches to knowledge, about psychology, philosophy, linguistics, sociology, art, and science.